Hi folks, this is an introduction to the Clear Light video series. I had taped another introduction, but technically it was too dark and I decided to redo this. So we're learning as we go as far as the technical aspects of this is concerned, but I wanted to let you know this series is going to be about spirituality, of course. Primarily based on Vajrayana Buddhism, or Tibetan Buddhism as it's known, in the Nyingma and Karma Kagyu sect or style, which is my lineage in the Tibetan Buddhist lineage or practice. I also draw from other spiritual sources such as Zen, non-dual Advaita Hinduism. I admire and study Gangaji, Eckhart Tolle, and some other teachers. So I will be drawing from these dimensions as well, even though I will be trying to convey as pure a Buddhist teaching as possible. I'm trying to broaden it, trying to make it casual, something appropriate to modern life, to everyday life. Trying to use common language vocabulary, although sometimes taking terms sneak in and are useful. They have their purpose. Just to tell you a little bit about me, I'm not a master, not a lama. I'm just a student or a practitioner, just such as yourself. But you can tell with my age, with almost 40 years of practice in spiritual practice, you might mark the start of my practice to 1971. I studied 3 years with Philip Kapleau Roshi, who was a Zen master. He passed. Author of the book The Three Pillars of Zen, which was a classic, one of the few books that were modern and available at the time. The Three Pillars of Zen, and also the Zen Dawn in the West, and some other works. Then I studied for 3 years with Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, a very well-known master at this point, who almost single-handedly, brought Buddhism to America. Then after that, I did study with Tartang Tulku, still leading the Tibetan Nyingma meditation centers of California and throughout the country. At that time, I was a member of the Boulder Center, did some teaching there, of course some studying there and some teaching there. Then I studied with Rigpa, headed by Sojo Rinpoche, also a very well-known master, very active. I studied 10 years with the Rigpa group, including, of course, attending seminars by Sojo Rinpoche, and some individual contact with Sojo Rinpoche. After that, recently I've been studying, connected with the Awakened Heart Sangha of Wales in the United Kingdom, led by Lama Shempen Hokham, who is also who's of the Kagyu lineage, I believe Karma Kagyu, and who teaches aspects of Mahamudra, the highest teaching. So, just telling you a little bit about my background and what being exposed to. I also did some training in some other disciplines, but primarily it's been Buddhism. So I'm hoping you subscribe, because we're going to have some videos, 10 to 20 minutes in length, maximum 20 minutes. We'll break it out in 2 parts since we're using YouTube. And these videos, I'm hoping, will be very practical. I'm hoping that anytime you listen to one, if you don't leave with some concept that really helps you, really hits something in your life, that I will give you some practice. We will have some practice videos. I'm hoping to present some of the practices that Kim Eng, partner of Eckhart Tolle, presented during the webcast that Oprah Winfrey hosted. I'm hoping to present those. If not in her voice, I'll have a transcribed form of them so as not to violate copyright. And by the way, you can find Kim Eng and Eckhart Tolle at eckharttolle.com. ECKARTTOLLE couldn't be any simpler. Also, we'll have some on basic meditations, the basic Buddhist themes, such as we have the Four Noble Truths, we'll have the 5 skandhas, 12 links of interdependent origination. As I said, some of the technical terms do sneak in. 6 consciousnesses, but some of these, or the 8 consciousnesses rather, some of these topics are basic, and you don't have to watch them if you don't like the more of the theoretical or philosophical aspects. But also we'll have instruction on basic meditation, loving kindness practice, Tonglen. I'll introduce something that I believe is extremely useful for Westerners called focusing. That was developed by a psychologist named Gene Gendlin, who worked with Carl Rogers in the University of Chicago. And it's, you want to call it a Western meditation. This, in fact, a Catholic movement that uses focusing as its meditation tool, and I can understand why. We'll talk more about that. So again, we'll talk about many things. And I encourage you to subscribe, because then you will see the new topics as they arise, and I intend to build out fairly fast the first few months, so we're going to have quite a few things being added every few days, hopefully, if not more often. Well, that's all for now. I hope to have you around. Message me anytime if you have a question or if you want to have a comment. And this is Julian saying over and out.